Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Commuter Connections discussion series, Commute with Confidence, an exciting opportunity to talk with influential voices in the region about our commute and how we can make that commute better. I'm Nicholas Ramfos, Director of Commuter Connections, and today our guest is Pam Sebesky, Vice Mayor of the City of Manassas in Virginia, and Chair of the National Capital Region Transportation Planning Board, or what is known as the TPB. Thanks for being here and spending the next couple minutes with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Nick. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I appreciate the time to be able to talk about a topic I'm passionate about. So I'm happy to be here.
So Pam, if you would, you hold important roles in our region's transportation scene, but we both know that, well, commuting isn't always everybody's favorite topic. So how did you end up leading in this field, and were you always interested in it?
Oh my, actually, no. Like everyone else, a lot of people, I should say, in this region, for the last 35 years, I've commuted to my employment. I live in the city of Manassas, and I've worked in Alexandria and Fairfax for my career. So I, like everyone else, spend a lot of time commuting and have seen various different changes over the last 35 years. But when I was elected to the Manassas City Council and started serving in 2017, I was the only member of council that actually commuted outside of the city for employment. So it seemed to be handed to me that transportation was going to be my area of expertise on the council. And I was immediately appointed to several different boards and commissions. I served on VRE, I served on PRTC, or known as OmniRide, and then later on to the Transportation Planning Board. And I've gained, by doing that, I've gained a lot of knowledge about transportation and its deep connection to economic development, land use, and so much more that goes on in all of our communities. And so that's how I've learned to gain the knowledge and serve in this area over the last several years.
What a great journey, Pam. And for TPB, it's an important balance because all those partner jurisdictions think regionally and make sure to act locally to address their respective needs. That said, each commuter has a choice every time they head out to work. And we're seeing choices complicated by extra traffic caused by things like the recent restrictions on the Roosevelt Bridge that came out this month, the construction on I-66, and more. How do you navigate your commute?
So because I'm a nurse, obviously, I don't get to use as many different options as some people might. But, we know that that last mile is always difficult for people. And like where I work currently now in Tyson's, I'm near the Silver Line, but I have to get a mile down to where I actually work. So after I go in by OmniRide, I take a variety of modes to get that last mile. And that to me is really what Commuter Connections helps us also understand about, right? When people have trust in that they can get somewhere in a predictable amount of time, it helps us all be able to get around better. And so when that's the benefit of using mass transits, but it's also the benefit of using things like van pools and um, shared rides of other ways, because that's how you can get a more predictable commute. I can tell you there's been more than one time as a single occupancy driver that I've been stuck on 66 because of an accident or something. Whereas if I had been able to be traveling at that particular time differently, it would have offered up different options. So people need, I think when we return, as we return out of this pandemic into a more normal situation, people are forever changed in how they're going to commute. And I think we're going to see people using more varied different forms of uh, transit to get around, because people may not be working the same types of hours that they once did or working the same types of days that they did. They may go in in Manassas, they may go in by van pool but come back out on VRE, or they may go in um, on an OmniRide bus and come back out if they have made arrangements in a van pool or through commuter connections if they need a ride. So I think that this is the conversations that all of us that are involved in making decisions for transportation in this region are discussing. How do we make sure, as we all return back, that we continue to try to get single occupancy vehicles, as many as possible, off the road and into these different modes of transportation, so that it's better for our environment and it's better for the commuter, and it's therefore a win-win for everybody.
Gotcha. Flexibility is going to be key. So addressing climate change and greenhouse gas emissions are key goals of the TPB's goals and objectives, and will surely be considered in the long-range transportation plan, Visualize 2045. So shared transit as a more predictable commute, that's such an important point because it hits home the short term and it feels real right now. What advice do you share with constituents about their commute during this time when many people still use work from home and hybrid schedules? You address that a little bit, but if you just get into a little bit more detail on it, that'd be great.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I really do tell people to check out Commuter Connections, their website, to learn about all the options and incentives that this program can offer to them. Not everyone has a group of people that they can join for carpooling or even van pooling, but if they go to Commuter Connections, they can find out some of that information. There's more people that might live near you than you might realize that work near you, and that opens up opportunities, especially for those of us that live outside of we don't have a metro station in Prince William County or in Manassas. So we have to look at some of these creative solutions that I've been very impressed by with Commuter Connections for people to be able to commute and have options. I think sometimes people don't think that they have options, but there are lots of options. So sometimes when you're working late or there's a family emergency and you need a ride home, the Guaranteed Ride Home program, offering a handful of rides each year, can give people just a tremendous peace of mind, a way of knowing that they have options, and that if their child is sick or whatever, that they can still get home even if they've commuted in by using something other than a single occupancy vehicle. So as many of us head back to the office, it's important to step back and take a fresh look at the many options that are out there, and from a regional perspective, looking at our traffic. And I have these conversations with my colleagues in Arlington and Alexandria all the time that, the more people that they have riding Metro, the more that my van pools and car pools and people can get through. So that we're all one region, as long as we continue to work together and solve solutions, it makes it a better commute from everyone coming from any direction that they're coming.
Great information and great to hear all of that, Pam. And thanks so much for being with us today on our Commute with Confidence discussion series. And we really appreciate your leadership and all the work that you've been doing with the TPB and in the region. And to everyone at work or home watching, thanks for being here. And remember to check out Commuter Connections at our website. It's commuterconnections.org, or call us at 800-745-RIDE for more information on the programs that Pam shared with you today. And we look forward to seeing you all next time, and have a great rest of your day and a safe commute.
Thank you, Nick. Have a great day, everybody.